So they went to a barbershop in Pennsylvania, and the black guys at a Harrisburg barbershop told the local CBS reporter that Kamala Harris isn't really black. Was that because she wasn't sure if she was going to vote for Biden that one time? Boy, the curse is real. The curse is real. If you don't know if you're voting for Biden, you ain't black.
Yeah.
So
maybe they turned black from voting for Biden. And
by the way, what would these Philadelphia barbershop people know about actual black community? Am I right? Obviously, we should always defer to the wisdom of wealthy divorced white women with more money than they know what to do with. I mean, they're the experts.
Can these guys even name one Bollywood musical? They know black stuff so well.
Is Kamala going to make you a little more likely or less likely?
Hey, thanks for sending the whitest guy in Harrisburg to come to cover this story. I appreciate that. So here we go.
Is Kamala going to make you a little more likely or less likely to vote Democrat?
Well, hold on, first, Ray, hold on, Ray. Is Kamala black? Yes or no?
I'm going to let her speak on that. But to me, no.
Oh, is Kamala black? Yes or no?
I share that same view.
Wow, is Kamala black? Yes or no?
I heard she was. I heard she's half black and half Asian.
When I played that audio on my SiriusXM radio program on Thursday, many callers who self-identified as African American were quick to tell me that those men were the exception, not the rule. Some described them as low information voters, no different than you'd find among whites.
Dude, they're low information voters. Low information about what's best for their own community. Once again, these news people have no idea what a pack of smug fucks they come off like. But here we go.
Nobody had the right answer, by the way, the question, which is, who gives a shit? Are you that rich? That's what you're worried about?
I think it's a good thing that they sent a white guy into a barbershop to ask the least important question about Kamala Harris.
Yeah. I think they could touch up his fade a little bit.
You remember, I mean, just to not to hammer it too hard, but I remember Don Lemon did this. Remember when Don Lemon argued that Kamala is an African American?
Black woman.
Okay, that's why I agree with that. I agree with that. But is she African American? No. But is she African American? There's a difference. There's nothing wrong with that. No one is.
By the way, when this person said, "Do you remember that time Don Lemon argued Kamala isn't African American?" I actually do remember that. You know what I don't remember? Don Lemon ever asking a question of substance. Okay, here we go.
Black woman.
Okay, that's why I agree with that. I agree with that. But is she African American? No. But is she African American? There's a difference. There's nothing wrong with that. No one is trying to take anything away from her.
Let's go down into her lineage.
I think you're falling. into a trap of that. All she had to do was say, "I am black, but I'm not African American." That's it.
Don, I think there's actually a trap. I'm not falling in. Let me finish. Hold on. I'm not falling into a trap by that. When she goes down her lineage, many Africans landed in Jamaica and all these other Caribbean islands. So she could indeed
Jamaica's
be
not America.
African American mixed with others. But she is
Jamaica's not America.
But she is a black woman. She was born
did not
here.
Come out of Jim Crow.
Okay, well let's go into Ted Cruz. Ted Cruz was born in Canada.
I'm not talking about Ted Cruz. This is not about Ted Cruz. You're changing the subject.
But you know what? We cannot. It was hypocrisy. I'm not changing the subject.
Yes, you are changing the subject.
She's a black woman. I don't know what you want.
Cruz.
Okay.
So, when Don Lemon says you ain't black enough, that's like Michael Rappaport saying you don't have enough dignity. Am I right? Come on. You remember when Ireland, Kurt? Do you remember when Ireland offered tax-free citizenship to anyone with Irish heritage, and every nationality was looking for one DNA strand just to get in? This is the presidential edition of that.
I don't remember that, but I believe you.
Okay. And let me just show you this. He showed up to ask the questions with the Michael Jordan thing, but it's white.
Yeah.
Look, guys, I'm cool. I'm a cool white dude. I got Michael Jordan thing. That's a Michael Jordan thing, right?
Yeah. Hey, look, my jacket and Michael Jordan shirt matches my skin and hair.
Okay, over to Steph.
All right. This one is so interesting. Let me see. Hemcar said, you'll like this, Jimmy. Here's an app that tells you if your restaurant uses seed oils.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so it's...
I'm going to guess they all fucking do.
It's called seed oils... So, hold on, seedoilscout.com.
No kidding.
Seedoilscout.com. Hempcar, thanks for the hot tip there, Hempy. All right, let's see what I have here. Thank you, Jimmy, Kurt, Steph, and team. Janice, well, Janice, you're a doll. I mean it. She rubbed her own face in it with a rolled up newspaper, El Rockin' Rolla. Hey, from one Mexican to another, moving on unburdened by what has been, Kurt. Mexican. El Rockin' Rolla. Thank you. Hey, how did he get his little jacket off? That was a really good question, Liquor Giant. You're right. How did he get that jacket off, finally? You found a safe water? Reporting in. Mountain Valley spring water, girls.
All right, well.
We're going to look for that one.
Really? How do we know?
Oh, it's reported, research.
Well, don't you want to call someone over at Topo Chico and go, how are you getting the forever chemicals into the water? Shouldn't it go right into the glass? What are you doing?
They're already there, and you just don't filter them. That's an easy answer.
There's forever chemicals in spring water, Kurt?
Well, yeah.
Come on.
I don't know. What, they're just saying spring water. A lot of times it's not spring water. Topo Chico, I wouldn't trust. Who are they owned by?
Well, Coca-Cola.
Yeah, I don't.
Why is everybody turning on Topo Chico? We used to like them. Just yesterday, we liked them.
I loved them because I wanted to get rid of plastic bottles. So I started getting one. The only reason I chose Topo Chico was because I liked saying it.
Jimmy.
But it comes.
These are placed inside the jar, and the lid is then sealed. They are left undisturbed for 3 days. Then, when the jar is opened, the fleas will not jump out. In fact, the fleas will never jump higher than the level set by the lid. Their behaviour is now set for the rest of their lives. And, when these fleas reproduce, their offspring will automatically follow their example. These are
If I were Rabbi Shmuley and diddle-diddle-diddle-diggle-diggle-diddle-diddle-dum, all day long along I diddle little bums. If I were a schmooly man, I'd peddle all my dildos, dreidel dildos, selling dildos with my daughter and her mum. If I were a Jewish schmooly man, I'd be digging with a dildo in my bum. I'd wear a grotesque nose and go grab some goyim right on the nipple with a pinch. A Shabbos lap dance brace for the youngest mensch.
At this time, more than any other time, you know, revolution is necessary. It is necessary. Not only based on what has happened with the MOVE organization, you know, the babies that have been murdered, you know, MOVE adults that have been murdered, bombs being dropped on us, but past that to what is happening with all black people, so-called minority people, you know, money poor people. You know, this government, as has been said earlier, has waged war on us. But, you know, something about us, particularly here in America, we don't really understand that. You know, we don't really know what war is. You know, for black people, for poor people, that people see as good, that they wasn't forced to do, that they didn't do to try to keep black people appeased, you know, and calm down so that black people wouldn't riot. A prison situation is a crystallized example of that. You can make phone calls in prison. They have movies in prison, but they don't have those things because they just want to be nice to prisoners. They have those things because they know damn well if they don't have, you know, people being able to contact their family, if they don't have, you know, facilities for people to sit there and watch movies, people are going to be frustrated, upset, and they're going to direct that frustration at them prison administrators, and they're going to have riots on their hands. You know, they're going to have people in them prisons turning them prisons out. That's why they have movies. That's why they have access to phones the way they do. And a stop to it when we don't like it, or encouraging it when it's something that's in our interest. You know, we have to call the shots. The people have to take the reins of this system and start dictating, you know, what we need, what needs to be done. And, you know, taking the initiative to do it ourselves. We can't rely on this system. I mean, you know, don't people see what's happening? Every single confrontation that MOVE people have been involved in, every single issue, you know, oppression, economic issues, every single issue facing our people, you know, is something that can be dealt with very, very simply. All people got to do is make their wishes known. All people have to do is stand up and say, listen, we're not accepting that. Unity is the key. Unity is the key to revolution. Revolution ain't nothing to be afraid of. It ain't nothing to shy away from. Revolution, contrary to what officials, you know, this system and those backing the officials running the system, you know, want people to believe that revolution means violence, you know, means blood in the street. I'm saying it can get to that point, but it don't have to be violent. You know, when people come together and take a strong stand on an issue, this government don't have no choice but to listen. Where you think they get their authority from? They don't have no power, but they do have authority to do certain things. Where you think they get it from? They get it from us, from the people. You know, they get it from us accepting the things that they do to be done to stop it. Then you have some people who want to then turn around and say, yeah, well, you know, it's the best we have, and want to make excuses. The time for excuses is over. It's over. You know, every man, woman, and child has to be involved in this revolution. Not only has to be, but is, whether you want to be or not. I mean, our babies gave their lives for this revolution on May 13th. You know, men, women, and children were murdered. And not just MOVE babies, you know. What about all of the young men, women, you know, children 8, 9 years old, shot down on the street by cops? you know, by drug pushers. I mean, you know, where do you think that mentality comes from? It comes from this system, from the mentality of this system of getting over, you know, making a quick buck, you know. I'm saying that's where that needs to be done to stop it. Then, you know, what I want people to really, really understand is that it's past time. It is past time for poor people, black people, you know, to realize that this system has failed you. It has failed you. You can't get nothing from it. And what people got to do is withdraw our support from it and start doing for ourselves. That's what we got to do. You know, how long are people going to sit back and beg, you know, this government to do what's right when for hundreds of years all you've gotten is a slap in the face? All you've gotten is this government kicking your ass. That's all. That's all black people have ever gotten from this government.
Hey, thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Subscribe by clicking on that button down there for more AM Joy and the rest of MSNBC. And click on any of the videos right here to watch the latest interviews and highlights. And you can get more videos from MSNBC for free every day with our newsletter. Just visit